Army-Navy parents will sell their children into the program. A person need not be cruel or even abusive to give their child to such programs. Rather, all that is required is a desire for advancement and a misguided sense of patriotism.
You know, a lot of the parents that got involved with the CIA MK program turned their children over willingly for various reasons. They might approach a parent and say, we have this experimental method where we can make your child a genius, and we can make them a success in life, and would you sign the paperwork here to allow us to use your child?
Those who possess a heightened ability to dissociate will produce children with a heightened ability. They will be offered a unique opportunity to make their child part of an exclusive program. The parents who do are highly rewarded, both in rank and compensation. Some view it as a patriotic sacrifice to their country and idealize their son being some super soldier. Others are blackmailed.
They might do this in conjunction. If they found a father that was sexually molesting his child, they would say, okay, we won't send you to prison if you'll work with us. We'll make you rich, but we need your child for this experiment, and it's a win-win because you won't go to prison and your child will become a genius and we'll make your child into a success.
One of the most prominent victims and whistleblowers, Kathy O'Brien, was brought into the program through blackmail. Her father was caught distributing child pornography of her through the U.S. mail.
When this one particular politician came to my father and told him he could receive immunity from prosecution if he would sell me into MK Ultra mind control, my father was thrilled. He agreed to sell me into the project and was trained in how to raise me for MK Ultra.
Many parents have a notion that the ends justifies the means, that if this sacrifice is made, their child will have a possibility of becoming a famous actress, politician, or celebrity. Still, others are kidnapped right off the street.
And police pointed a gun at a woman's head and tried to force her into his van. Inside, a metal cage.
He was wearing a dark-colored hoodie-style sweatshirt and jeans. Now, the van is described as a full-size van, white, with no windows on the side. It also had a California license plate, and as you said, Sarah, the most disturbing thing is a possible black cage within that van.
Two boys said that when they were on their way home from school, a man in a white van asked them to come to the van and come to him. Of course, they did the right thing and yelled and got out of there as quick as they could.
Fox 2's Paul Shankman is live in Rock Hill to explain why they want everyone in that area watching out for one particular white van.
White van.
Beside him at the curb, the sliding door opened in the back and a white male yelled, "Get in."
That unsettling report comes from an 11-year-old boy who says there were actually 3 men in that van when it pulled up next to him near the intersection of North Rock Hill Road and Euclid. The boy immediately took off running for 3 blocks until he got to school.
Told the principal what happened and she called the cops.
Within a couple hours, a recorded message was sent to the parents of Lawrence Elementary students. Quote, "A white van was parked on the side of the road. The girls walked on and the van followed them. The girls became nervous and returned to school. We called the police, who are now investigating."
And then it was just scary because the very next day is when the other little girl came up missing.
1, 2, 3, 8-year-old Demetrius Madison is smiling and laughing once again, but just over 24 hours ago, he was nearly kidnapped by 4 men in a black van who approached him at the Alameda Park Apartments.
Monarch victim Bryce Taylor wrote in her book Thanks for the Memories that she, as a little girl, would be used to lure other children into a vehicle for kidnapping.
I can publicly testify that what these children are saying is reality. And I can also say that I was used even as a child on Ventura Boulevard near the Corbin Bowl to coerce children that were my age into black sedans where the men had TVs and candy and all kinds of things that I was told to lure children into the cars, and they would happen to be shopping with their mom, walking along the boulevard there, and then I would say something like, would you like some candy? And there's a TV in the back of this car, do you want to come and see it? And as soon as this child would approach the car, the men would throw them in the back seat and take off. And then often I witnessed as these children would be kept contained in cages.
The actual number of missing children and adults in the US and Canada is mind-blowing. While monarch victims have down-to-earth convincing front alters, many of their alter identities exist in some form of sci-fi world that keeps their slaves far from reality and their true identity. The scripts of popular movies are often used to solidify the fantasy world within the victim's mind. A mind control script is like the operating software upon which the rest of the system is built. The most common mind control scripts include Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, Star Wars, Star Trek, and Alien Abduction, among others. On these fictional scripts, programmers build entire worlds into which the alters are placed. The victim's mind is so tormented they will accept anything. They are told to construct in their mind completely fictional worlds in which alters dwell. Victims often contain Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz themed programming. These storylines work perfectly for the theme of dissociation, as both characters enter alternate universes ultimately created within their own mind. The same occurs with monarch programming. Victims are told to escape deeper into their own mind to a fictional world of the programmers creating. To escape the tortures, alters go over the rainbow, or in the case of Alice in Wonderland, through the looking glass. This is when the conscious mind takes flight. Military monarchs commonly have Star Wars or Star Trek themed programming. It is not uncommon for monarch victims to be obsessed with these fictional worlds. They may know entire parts by heart, or spend hours totally immersed in the Star Wars, Star Trek universe, and know countless intricate details about them. Another popular theme for trauma-based mind control is alien abduction. Many of those who report abduction stories are in fact victims of trauma-based mind control. The brain instinctively wants to pull itself back together, and the more distance the alters are from reality, the further they are from realizing their true self.